All right, guys, welcome to REI Wholesalers R Us Money Making Motivational Mindset Zoom, guys. We are so excited. We're doing this a little bit differently tonight. As our partner, Delano, is actually down in Florida, actually celebrating with his family, just the immense blessing that has come his way. So, guys, we are excited for our partner. But here we are, guys. We have an exciting Zoom setup for you tonight, guys. And me and Will, we get excited um, every time things happen like this, because it lets you know that this is real. So, before we get started with that, I'm just going to, guys, kind of just break out how we got started with what we're doing. Well, listen, my name is Tim Harvey. My partner over there, his name is Will Galloway. And this is for anybody that has not jumped on the Zoom before, has not jumped on Facebook Live, but this is REI, Wholesalers Are Us. This is our money-making motivational mindset Zoom. And we want to thank God, for giving us this opportunity, for giving us this platform, for giving us the ability to even do this. We are grateful for it. The way that we got started was, me and Will, we've been friends for a couple of years, and we were actually doing business together for a couple of years. And, right around 2015, which is exactly 5 years ago, we actually sat down and had a discussion about a community, a real estate community, being able to start a real estate community. And guys, I know it, it came from God. It actually came from God. So it wasn't us, it came from God. And that's how it started. So me and him, actually got a chance to sit down. And, the Bible says to write your vision down and make it plain. So we wrote it down, made it plain. And that was the genesis, sat at a Barnes and Noble. And that was the genesis of our meetups, the REI Wholesalers R Us meetups. And from there, we were able to have our first meetup. First meetup was at a Piccadilly cafeteria. For those of you unaware of what we do in the Southeast, Piccadilly is just one of those places where you actually go in, you grab your food, people behind the counter, and then you sit down and eat. And we had an overwhelming crowd. And we just knew that we were onto something, and just knew that it was a blessed thing. So, we're able to after a couple of meetups, we're actually able to move into, our current headquarters in College Park, Georgia. And, just has had exponential growth ever since. We've had many meetups since then. And since then, me and Will, we've had an opportunity to actually help, hundreds of partners, hundreds of people, some, getting their first deal, some getting their second deal, some completing their first deal, some completing their second deal. We've actually had some of our partners actually start, actually being able to start businesses, real businesses, six-figure businesses, consistently year over year. And we've been blessed for that. We've also, been able to help, a lot of people in our current community, people that, some of our current partners that just couldn't find partners, or couldn't find a buyer for their deal. Sometimes me and Will would actually buy deals. Sometimes me and Will would actually think creatively and be able to work on deals like that. So that's how our community started, and it's just kind of grown since then. God has touched it, He's blessed it. I like to say He's kissed it. And since then, we've been able to birth our Wholesalers R Us. So 5 years in running, we were able to do that. And then sometime about two years ago, a lot of our partners were coming to us and were like, well, hey, what else can you guys do besides just Saturday meetups, right? And besides just helping people on a weekly basis. Well, we came up with this. We came up with, let's just have our money-making motivational mindset Mondays. And for me, it was a reflection of, when I was in corporate America, I used to hate Mondays. Reason being is because, back on Friday, you only have like one of the day, 1.5 days to really enjoy yourself. You got that Friday, get home at 6, 7 o'clock after beating all the traffic. Then then you've got Saturday, and Saturday is pretty much a day to, whatever it is you got to do on Saturday. And then, of course, Sunday is the day of the Lord. So doesn't have much time to yourself. Don't have much time to, to do some of the things that you want to do, some of the things that you need to do, be able to focus on God, be able to focus on, the things that your intention or purpose to do. So that's why I hated Mondays at the time. So fast forward to being an entrepreneur. fast forward to being an entrepreneur and being in the business full time, you know, I made a decision to start loving Mondays. And guys, guess what? It's a mindset. And since then, you know, guys, you know, we have had Mondays have been some of our most productive days. They've been some of our most productive days because it was a change and it was a shift, just like what's going on now. You know, it was a shift in our minds, and we were able to actually make Mondays great days. So now that's where we came up with the money making motivational mindset Mondays, is because we actually want, you know, some of you to be able to shift your mind to what your days need to be. It's the beginning of the week. And at the beginning of the week, you need to really be able to push it out there to be able to do some of the things that you want to do, some of the things that you need to do, you know, some of the things that you've been told to do by God. You know, Monday is that day. So that's why, you know, we set up, you know, these calls, you know, these, and now they're Zooms, and of course now they're Facebook Lives, and of course they're on YouTube as well. So partner, how you doing tonight? I'm just excited every time we get a chance to do this.
I'm blessed, man. What about yourself? How you feeling?
I'm so grateful to be able to do this. You know, I'm so grateful to be able to, you know, every time a partner gets paid, I mean, it's just an exciting thing. And then, you know, especially during a time like now, you know, during a pandemic, I've got so many questions that I want to ask, but yeah, man, I'm blessed.
Yeah, man. First off, let me, of course, give all glory to God. I just want to, give him all the glory and all the credit for allowing us to have this platform to be able to speak. I also want to just do kind of a quick moment of silence for, the death of, Rashad Brooks. Of course, we just lost that brother, from Atlanta a couple of days ago, tragic murder. So I want to, put a prayer in for him and his family right now. And everybody, from George Floyd and Rihanna and Ahmaud, all the, people that's, lost their lives, from police brutality or just by, for no reason, so I just wanted to make sure I acknowledge that because it's kind of been deep on my heart lately. I don't speak on too much stuff, but that kind of touched home, so especially the one with the gentleman, Rashawn, because that just happened a couple of days ago. I was actually, it could have been, yeah, exactly. That's the same thing, my wife said, like that could have been us. And I was just over in that area when it happened, and I didn't even know what was going on. I seen a lot of police, because I was leaving for one of my properties over there in Pittsburgh, which is a couple of blocks away. And when I was, I seen all the police and sirens and stuff like that. I didn't know what was going on. But when I found out, I was hurt, to know that happened, the way it happened. So I'm not going to touch on it too long. I just wanted to acknowledge that, I wanted to express my condolences and my prayers to, his family. And, I just wanted to pay my respect, that's all. But again, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful for, this platform that, God has allowed us to be able to have. See, like you said, since 2015, we've been able to just give back and just talk about real estate and talk about what we love to do, and while we're doing it, we're helping people along the way. I think that's the beauty of what we do.
Yeah.
And again, this Monday is just catapulted from us having our Saturday meetups, and we just felt like Monday, like you said, Monday was just, one of those days where you just got to go hard. I feel like you got to go hard on Mondays because it sets the tone for the rest of the week, so it's not about looking at Monday like, oh, just another, just coming off the weekend. Oh, it's time to go back to work. Like you need to, prepare mentally to set the tone for the week and build some momentum for the week to have a great week, So that's why we put emphasis on Mondays, so we can shift your mindset from thinking negative and think, positive, so you can take that same approach and approach the week, full speed running, So excited about the call tonight. Again, we always like when somebody's being blessed, when working with us, we try to make it our duty to make sure we can help as many people as possible, whether it's a homeowner getting their property sold, whether it's a buyer getting a new investment opportunity, whether it's one of our partners, being able to make some money, you know, selling a property. I mean, we love all aspects of it, you know, so grateful that we have a call from a young lady that we're interested in, you know, hearing her story a little bit, interested in hearing her journey and how it came up to this point of her being able to, you know, close this deal, and, you know, even what made her, you know, choose us. I think it was a close friend, you know, that referred us, but I always like to hear these stories. I always like to hear how did it get to this point. You know, I know it ain't nothing but God, you know, at the end of the day, you know, because God connects relationships. You know, you can say, oh, this person told me, or that this would happen or that would happen, but, you know, God put those connections together. God put these pieces together, you know, so it's not nothing that was accidental. It wasn't nothing that was a coincidence. It's just nothing but God, you know, nothing but God. Every situation that happens, nothing but God. And this is no different. So are you still there? I don't know. Can you still hear me, partner? Did we lose you, brother? Did we lose you? Did we lose you, or did y'all lose me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, so we lost my partner. So we'll wait for him to get back on. But yeah, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for just being here tonight, just being able to speak tonight and talk to our partner, you know, who has actually closed the deal with us. We're definitely excited about, again, her journey, and everybody we work with. We just love stories. We love to hear people be able to express and talk about how they got to this point, because everybody's journey is different. You know, our journeys were different. You know, Tim and myself's journey was different. You know, and I just be eager to know how did it happen. You know, and I like the fact that okay, I got you. You check on that for me, Lachette, and see what's going on with our guests. Okay. So we're waiting on our guests, and we're also waiting on Tim to get back on. But one thing I can say about, you know, our guests is the fact that I like the fact that I love when there's women that actually be able to close a deal. Because I think, me personally, I just think that more women need to be in the business. You know, I think that women are smarter than us, and I think that they can get the job done. I don't know if enough of them just really believe that, or really believe that they can do this. I mean, it's no different from sports. You know, just like you have successful sports figures, women. You know, I think it need to be more professional women that does real estate as well. You know, so I just hope and pray that more women, you know, jump on board and become successful. Before you jumped on, okay, I guess it's logging on now. But before you jumped on, I was just saying that women are so much more intelligent and smarter than us. And I love when
Absolutely.
we have sport, when women, you know, because I just feel like if they just only knew they could crush the game, and enough, I need more of them to get involved in the business, you know, and you know, they can literally take it over, you know. So I like to see, you know, when women do the business, you know.
Well, you know, one thing that really inspired me, like last night when we were watching, and I just a one-off, but just last night when we were watching the four mayors, the four black mayors, women mayors,
Right.
that were on CNN. I mean, that really inspired me, and the host, and just to watch the poise and the intelligence of you know, women that, you know, been able to take over cities. You know, specifically during the pandemic, it's just an amazing thing.
Right.
You know, and I'm glad, you know, that they've been chosen. You know, especially, you know, KLB, my favorite, has been chosen to do that. But yeah, I'm excited about tonight, and I'm excited about LaShawn.
So if she's on now, you can go ahead and start bringing her on, so we can go ahead and get her going and get the interview started. But we're grateful that you know, she's being able to jump online with us tonight. And hey,
Can you see her? Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, guys? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but your screen froze.
Okay, so the key here is definitely an and, because 2 to 3 deals a month.
Hello?
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. I think everybody's making adjustments tonight. My service is adjusted, so here I am on my cell phone. But yeah, I can hear you. Will, can you hear?
I can hear her. It seems like her screen is frozen though. I don't see her face.
No, you won't see my face now. My hair isn't done.
Oh, okay,
you
I got you. I got you.
Okay, we've
That's
got the representation.
fine.
We've got the representation of the sun.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
How you doing tonight?
Exceptional. How are you guys?
Man, we're so grateful. Listen, LaShawn, I mean, listen, this whole thing of how we all came together. I mean, we know that it's God. I mean, we know clearly that it's God on how we came together. But can you kind of tell the story? Because I think we may have met through a mutual friend, and that's how we hooked up. And that was a couple of years ago. Is that correct?
Yes, it was actually maybe about 7, 8 years ago. I think it was probably before the last recession really kicked off, and we were targeting probate leads. So that's how we initially met. And you guys have always been gurus. So I'm always been tuning into what you all are, plugged into.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So it's been about 7, 8 years ago when we met, and I guess just over time, and this is what's great about this interview is just like, a lot of people are actually on the line and have been working, they've been trying to do this, been trying to do this, trying to do that, over the past couple of years, but have not had any success whatsoever. So I guess what you're saying is you're, 7 to 8 years in the making. Was this your first closing or second closing, or tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, our deal was actually my second closing. So I started doing my research about 7 years ago, and with all the hardships, I just gave up and started just, I got a job. My last job, I was working for Porsche. I was making good money, but I decided I don't want to live my life like this. I can't continue to come to this super amazing place and work for these super amazing people and not make what I want to make. I know I wanted more. So I decided to really go full force into learning real estate. I started my birthday weekend, November of last year. So November 15th, Caesar, DJ Envy, they came down from New York and they had a seminar here in Atlanta. So that's really,
remember that?
Yeah, that got me really motivated. So that I've been picking up a book every day ever since November.
Wow. So
you had a real estate seminar?
Yeah, DJ MB had something in Atlanta. I remember. You said it was last year or the year before?
Oh, last year, November 17th was it?
Yep. I remember that. I remember that. And he bought a lot of other people here, and big ups to DJ MB from the Breakfast Club. He's actually bringing a lot of people into real estate that would have otherwise never thought about it. But you have been, it had been brewing in you, or there have been seeds that have been planting in you for a long time. And this was something that just kind of got you back. I know you went to corporate America, and I know what it's like in corporate America. I mean, people can tell you, oh, it's so great here. You need to stay here, that kind of thing. But you had a different mind.
Absolutely. Just walking into the place, seeing those beautiful cars, and I'm pulling over. I had a nice car, but those Porsches and the Lamborghinis, they're all super well, but they're fine. But I just couldn't see myself sitting at this desk, looking out the window at somebody driving their car, having a great time while I'm just working for this little some odd dollars.
You know what's funny about that, LaShawn, is
She said she worked at Porsche?
Yeah, she worked at the Porsche plant at the Porsche in Atlanta. And you know what's funny about that is that when I was, you know, I took a little turn. I was selling jewelry, you know, and we were selling like, you know, $100,000 diamonds, and everybody was coming in, everybody was happy, and here I was working. I hated that.
Yes, seriously. Like I don't mind working for me, but we're going in circles right now. Yeah, it's Porsche. When you work there, you learn the proper enunciation. You know, we're used to saying Porsche, but it's Porsche.
Porsche, okay.
Right.
The only car that appreciates.
Right.
You know, when you go to that dealership, they always want to tell you, hey, Porsche is one of the only cars that appreciates.
Yes, and it's true. They're great cars. They are great cars.
Yeah.
And I want my own. I want to own my own.
Absolutely. So listen, so you went to the DJMB, and from there you said that you just started, I guess, getting your mind right, because you knew, you already kind of knew about this thing, and you studied until, you know, infinite, but you were getting your mind right, right?
Yes. He helped me get my mind right. So I knew I needed to get a better strategy, because there are different avenues, there are different ways to really get into real estate. You just got to make it plain, write it down and make it plain.
Well, that's what the Bible says. So
and that part, and clearly.
So when you left that seminar, how did you come up with what strategy? Like, did you just say, I'm going to start wholesaling? Or, I mean, how did you come up with what strategy you're going to take from after that seminar?
So how I determined, so I went to YouTube University. Honestly, that's really what I did. I watched so many videos. I came across so many different wholesalers. This guy who I really learned so much information from, he had a free webinar for February for Black History Month, and he taught us marketing strategies, how to cold call, how to text message, how to RVM, ringless voice blast. And that was basically how I locked up my first deal. I sent him a ringless voicemail blast, and I'm not sure if he really got it, but when I sent out my text message blast, we were texting back and forth. So he responded, and I called him and followed through with him, and building that rapport, he went with me. So
wow,
that's how I got that one.
So LaShawn, did you know what you were doing at the time?
No, I still barely know what I'm doing. Okay.
So with the ringless voicemail, you got the ringless voicemail. He called you back, and how did that conversation go?
Okay, so this was March. This is the kickoff of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
March 12th is really the first day that we spoke with one another. So he answered the call. He said that he had two properties. This particular property he wanted to get rid of because he was interested, or he was in the process of joining with his partner and fixing and flipping another property. So he needed this property to be cashed out. He needed the money from this one to invest in his other property. So he's a mild investor, and he needed the cash. And this area was a hot area, so I knew it was going to produce, some.
Did you act like you knew what you were doing? I mean, how did, because I know a lot of people want to know, like, did she act like she knows, did she act like she was some super expert, or how, what was her approach?
Nah, no expert, but I walked in confidence. You can't run into somebody and not know what you're talking about. Even though I didn't know what I was talking about, and I still barely know what I'm talking about, I listen. Like, we got to be listeners and active. You know what I mean? So when they're blubbering, we listen and feed into it.
Wow.
Honestly, I still don't know, like, the true terminology for real. I really don't.
That's huge. That's huge. All right, so you got that deal done and closed out. And we thank God for that. I mean, we're so glad that was your first deal that was closed. And a lot of people are still trying to get to that first deal. So, what one thing that I noticed is that a lot of people, when they get that first deal closed, they're just so grateful, they're happy, they're thankful, but they kind of stop there. But what was it that kept you going and say, I got to get this second deal?
Yeah, I'm so motivated. I know for a fact I'm not going to work for anyone else. I know that this this is going to be one of the avenues that I use to get what I really need out of this life. I'm super motivated. I'm super motivated. This is the avenue for me. This is
Why are you motivated? What motivates you?
This has opened up my eyes. I made a check, and it wasn't like, it was difficult, yeah, but it's just really about finding the loopholes, going around those corners legally and figuring it out. This is going to open up so many doors. It truly is, because I got the check and I'm going to reinvest it. I'm going to get some land. I'm going to build on it. Like, it's going to open up so many doors for what I have in store. I have a nonprofit also, so I'm basically using my real estate to learn about land, so I can get some land and get my people.
That's what and LaShawn, that's really what I wanted to get to is that there's a why attached, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a strong why. It's a why that, it's not just doing the real estate. There's a reason why you're doing the real estate. There's a reason why you're not going back to your job. There's a reason why, you decide not to do something else, but there's a strong why attached. And the why is, I guess the why is because number one, your family. And then number two, you talked about this nonprofit, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you want to save some people, right?
Absolutely.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Okay, so we got to your why, and family, we just want to point this out. This is very, very important for you to have success in this business, is to have a strong why. Have a why that's going to make you cry, okay? So you got that why, so that drove you to try to get your next deal. How did the next deal come up?
Text blasting. I found her text blasting.
Found her text blasting. Okay. Yeah. So you text her. You text a lot of people, and she said yes, right?
Yes. She said yes, and I called her up, and she was an investor also. It working out.
You keep dealing with a lot of investors, and that's the funny thing is that when we're dealing with investors, I think sometimes we just have to be kind of open about who we are. Because an investor can kind of smell it a mile away, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I try to operate with with transparency. Absolutely. I want to be transparent, but we got to keep our tools where they are, but we have to be transparent.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you've got to use wisdom as you're being transparent. Is what you're saying. Yes. So you got this deal going, and I don't know, like, how did me and you come back into contact? Now you've been to one of our meetups, so
yeah, I'm always in your back door.
You know what? And it's just funny, like me and you, we haven't talked in a long time, right. But that right there, connected us. So we saw the deal. So me and Will. We actually went out and we saw the deal, and we actually thought about buying that deal. But some other things happened, and we were actually able to liquidate instead. So kind of tell the story of, you got the text blast. Can you tell the rest of the story?
Okay, so I text blasted the seller, and she responded, and she was kind of taken aback as to selling it to another investor because she's been down this road before. She wanted to sell it. She wanted cash. She didn't want to do any negotiations, no seller finance, none of the other shenanigans. She wanted the cash right out. So I told her I don't have the money right out, but I'll connect with my partner. I have a group of investor friends, and what I'll do is I'll shoot it right over to them, and I'll communicate with you to see what we can offer you. This was actually the second time around. The first time, sorry, I should have started off with this. The first time around, I had a wholesale end buyer, and the contract fell through. So fast forward about 2 weeks, she was basically ready to cancel the contract, but I let her know, like, I'm legitimately ready to invest in this property. This is a hot area. We want it. We want this property. Me and my friends, we want this property. So I negotiated the contract and was able to put her down about $10,000, $15,000 actually. She initially wanted $65,000, and I got it to $50,000.
Right.
Just rapport, being nice, being friendly. She's a CPA. I got all of her history. Like,
That's what I was just getting ready to ask you too about how were you able to like build so much rapport with the lady? Because I noticed like toward the end, I think what saved that deal is she really trusted you, you know, and I think that's important to kind of highlight is the fact that how were you able to build that trust with her like you was able to? Because I think that deal somewhat toward the end almost kind of fell apart, but I think just based on the trust in the relationship you guys had that she built with you, she gave you another chance, you know, and then of course, you know what happened at the end, but explain to us, you know, how was that trust built, or what did you focus on to build that relationship with the lady?
And you're a guy. I wouldn't expect guys to understand. It's a women thing. You know what I mean?
Right. I get it.
I'm kidding. But seriously, just listening for real. As simple as like mediocre as it sounds, I was listening to the woman.
That's so simple but true.
And I was plugging in. Like she tells me things and I'm following through. You say you want to build something and making. Okay, how's making going? Like I'm not pressing you about you gonna sell me this for 50,000, right? I'm just communicating and having her open up to me, but not digging too deeply into her lifestyle. I know she's a businesswoman or portraying to be a businesswoman, so.
That's so key. I think that's one of the biggest things when it comes to building rapport is just listening. You know, and as you listen, you learn that individual and you know how far you can go. Like you said, you didn't get too personal with it, but you knew how far you can go based on letting her talk and letting her open up, and you start learning her demeanor, you start learning, you know, her personality, and that allows you to know how far you can go with the conversation, or, you know, where you can go with the conversation. So I think that was key that you said listening. People just don't know just that key right there. If you don't take anything away from what she said, that's good. What you were saying, Tom? I'm sorry.
No, I was just piggybacking off of that. I mean, really, it was just like mirroring the person that you're dealing with, you know, taking on their personality. You know, when you're dealing with them, you know, you're kind of taking in the personality, and then, you know, how they're dealing with you. Then you're going back and dealing with them. If they're aggressive, you know, you're kind of aggressive. If they're not aggressive, then you're not aggressive. If they're, you know, businesslike, then you're very businesslike with them. You know, if they have a deal somewhere, like she had a deal in Macon that she was working on, you know, hey, you know, what about Macon? And just remembering those details about the person, remembering that she's a CPA, you know, that's an important thing because that can kind of peek into a personality there. So, you know, as a newbie, you know, a lot of times, guys, you know, as a newbie, you know, these are the things, like, you don't have to be an expert in the business. You can just be an expert on people and people building and learning about people. And that's what can make you dangerous in this business.
Mm-hmm. I agree wholeheartedly. Because I'm going to be dangerous, guys. So.
So LaShawn, I mean, you just kind of going into this thing, you know, as somewhat of a, I'm not even going to call you a newbie. I'm going to call you a veteran who knows the business. But really, you just kind of putting your foot in there now, as opposed to, you know, years ago. And so during this transaction, now, what was your mindset like? Did you know it was just going to happen? How were you thinking? Because I know we had some hairy moments there.
I had no idea what was going to happen. I just knew I because it was going to come up. And if you act desperate, just like a woman, if you're facing a woman and you are desperate, we'll run away. We won't, you know, follow through with it. So I just had to take on my woman role in this business, in this male-dominated business, and it's going to work out if it's going to work out, and if it doesn't, I got another deal coming through.
Well, I think that's the right mindset. As a matter of fact, I think that is the right mindset, because a lot of times.
All right.
What'd you say, Will?
I said such a right mindset. Such a right mindset.
Listen, we got to expound on that, because I know a lot of times, like we see a lot of our new partners, you know, when they get a deal on the contract or may get somebody that's, you know, I mean, you're just excited when somebody's interested and somebody raises their hand and somebody wants to talk to you. But when it comes to that, you've got to almost be willing to kind of take it away and act as if, you know, I've got a million other things going on, which, you know, realistically you do. You got another deal in place. You know, I'm going to call some more people. You know, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to, you know, I'm not going to bug this person. I'm just going to keep it going. And I think that's the right idea. I think that's the right mentality, you know, to always keep a pipeline, always have somebody else that you could be calling, you know, just, I mean, that kind of mindset, you know, will almost bring a person back to where, you know, to where you need for them to be. And that's the closing table.
I appreciate that. Coming
That
from
type
you guys.
of mindset actually saved my business. It saved my business. And what I mean by that is, like, when I was my first couple of years into the business, I think I told the story before, like there were certain deals where, like the deal we just did, I would have been stressing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I wouldn't have been able to have no sleep. I would have just been like, oh my God, like what's going to happen? Is the buyer going to fall through? Is the seller going to say they don't want to sell it to me anymore and sell it to somebody else? I would have just been like really literally stressing. And as soon as I learned that you don't stress about these deals, you look at them like, if it happens, great, it's a blessing. If it don't, so what? There's another deal. That's 10, 20, 30 more deals around the corner. And as soon as I shifted my mind of thinking that way, then it happened to where, you know, things were just happening. Deals were happening. I wasn't really lacking faith. You know what I'm saying? My faith got stronger. I started being more confident, you know, and I would just had that mindset of like, if it closed, great. And I had my mind thinking it's going to close. But then I also had my mind thinking if it don't close, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay because there's going to be those deals that just don't work out. But right when I thought that, and then one of those deals happened, another one came right back around the corner, you know. So I just think that, you know, that was important that you brought that up, because that actually helped me and it changed my business. And to this day, I don't stress about no deal. I had a deal where I closed it, but it was a $40,000 deal. And most people say, $40,000, what the heck? Like, I'd be crying over something like that. I literally was, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I was, you know, doing my due diligence, making sure I tried to keep things together. But I literally had in the back of my mind, like, if it don't close, it just don't close. I guess I was feeling like if what's meant for me is meant for me. And I truly believe that. What's for me is for me. And if it's not, it's just, it wasn't for me. And I just look at it like that. There's so many deals me and Tim, you know, closed and didn't close. And I just say, bro, it just wasn't for us, man. Maybe it was for somebody else.
And we got so many that come back around. We got so many that come back around.
Yeah,
matter of fact, this deal right here, we saw this deal about a year ago, I think it was.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we did. We seen it about a year ago. Actually, somebody brought it to us. We didn't really necessarily try to sell it, but somebody approached us, and you know, it was a close friend, you know, close friend, associate that we know, and they approached us about the deal, and we looked at it, and we went to the property and everything. Yeah. So that's why when the property came back around, I was like, "Dad, that's the deal." You know, such and such sent us.
You know what was you know what's funny about that, Will, is that as I was driving to the property, I didn't even realize that was the same deal. And then as we were doing the directions, yeah, you said it's the same deal.
Yeah, I was like, that's the same house. When I seen the picture, I remember the picture of the house, but
y'all was waiting for me. That's why I didn't go through. Y'all were waiting for me.
Absolutely. Man, that's one of those things. What's for you is for you, you know. So okay, you got the deal from text messaging, and then you reached out to Tim, and you know, what did that conversation? I mean, what made you decide to just give him a call after, I guess, the first buyer or wholesaler, whoever it was, fell through? What made you decide to reach out to Tim about that?
I have about 10 to 15 buyers or people that are on my A list. And I wanted to reach out to Tim directly because I know I have a relationship with him.
Okay.
So.
Wow. Thank you. I thank God for relationships. I thank for good, godly relationships. I thank you.
I thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So when you reached out to me, like I reached out to Will, and I just knew that this was something that we needed to do. I know we had another one that we looked at before that just wasn't right, but this one I knew for some reason that, you know, we were going to get it done. I didn't know how, I didn't know what we were going to have to do, whether we were going to have to buy it, which we do at times. I didn't know, but I just knew that this was a deal that we were going to help you get paid on. So I'm grateful for that.
I'm grateful also.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you guys for bringing me on your podcast. I'm very shy and I'm super nervous. My hands are sweating.
You know what's funny, LaShawn? I know you're not shy because I was on your page and you're not shy.
Oh, yes, I am. I had to do those little takes probably about 1,000,000 times. I'm so shy.
Y'all go check her out. Really, y'all go check her out because we know that LaShawn is actually an up-and-comer, and she actually has the mindset to actually win in this business. And that's and like what me and Will say, this thing is 90% mindset. It's 90% mindset. 10% is just the business. So she has the mindset to actually check it, to actually be successful in this business. And we know that that's what it takes. So we get to the point where we actually get to the closing, right? And of course, this is 2020 COVID-19 rules, so we don't actually go to a closing table, a lot of times these days. So sans the picture. But what was it like? What was it like when we actually closed this deal? What did that feel like?
Oh my gosh! So the first closing. This was the start of the COVID, so I was able to go to the office, but we were in separate rooms. So I'm like, okay, I get the experience. That's fine. No, our closing, I didn't have to go to the office. I just got an email asking for my information, and that was it. That was all.
Your wife information.
That's such a good feeling when an attorney said, "Hey, we need your wire information because we got to send you some money."
I like that. I like the way that feels.
So
I haven't signed anything.
So this is the thing, and I don't want to expose too much of your business, LaShawn, but I do want to say this because this is very important. Okay, most people feel like they have to have. Now I know you've got your LLC set up and all that stuff, but you didn't even send a deal in your LLC. You understand what I'm saying? And I think people kind of get it backwards. When it comes to this business, people feel like they've got to be prepared here, prepared there, but really it's more about the execution of not the execution of everything, but it's more about the mindset of just getting a deal, right?
Yeah, I wanted to start. I wanted to see what it was going to feel like, and I wanted that profit to pay for the LLC and to pay for anything else that's this business related. I didn't want to come out of pocket because I wanted it to be done properly. I didn't want to do it the cheap way. You know what I mean? I wanted to do it the real business way. I needed a real LLC. I needed the real documentations.
Yeah, and that's right. But what I'm saying is that most people are afraid to take action before they, like you, okay? Like when the attorney called you and the attorney was like, what entity do you want me to send a check in? It's like most people feel like they have to be utterly prepared. Like they've got to dot their I's, they got to cross their T's. And I know all that's good, but the most important thing is taking the action. That's the most important thing. The most important thing is getting in contact with the seller. That's the most important thing, because once you can do that, and once you can get somebody to trust you, like you, etc., then you've got everything else just kind of falls into place. I remember the first wholesale deal I closed, I didn't have an LLC set up. Matter of fact, the attorney asked me, he said, Tim, do you want me to go ahead and set up an LLC? And he did it for me. At that time, it was just about taking the action and just doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Totally.
So yeah, that's my biggest takeaway. That's my biggest takeaway from you, is that you just took action. It was time to take action, and you took action. You did the text message blast, which takes, that takes an amount of faith, because somebody's going to call you back.
And when they call you back, you got to be able to talk to people. You can't be afraid to talk to people. You've got to, you've got to have it in your mind that, hey, this is going to result in a deal. If this doesn't result in a deal, then another one's going to result in a deal. So on and so forth. Because I remember, like, during the like after that first deal with us that didn't quite close, I remember it was just like a week or two later when you came back and it was like, look, I got another one. And I was like, man. So it's just, it's a mindset.
You guys, and I know we got less than 10 minutes left.
Okay.
For our call, but if you guys got a question while LaShawn is still on, if you guys got a question for her, please put it in the chat box. If you guys on Facebook, if you guys want to comment and at least, just out of respect, tell her congratulations. I think that she did an amazing job. And again, I'm grateful that she shared that experience with us. And like I told, I don't know if you was on earlier, but I said, I just want to see more women do this business because, again, you guys are so much smarter than us. And
we agree.
I take over this business. So I pray, I pray that more females like yourself have the courage to just want to step out on faith. And even with you, and again, we don't never condone people to leave their jobs, but you stepped out on faith and left a good company, to start your real estate career. So big ups to you on that.
I'm gonna tell people if you have the right mindset, like I know you had the right mindset to leave your job.
That's all it takes. She just said, I'm not the smartest person, but I know that she believed in herself and she had the proper mindset. So really, like we always talk about on these Monday calls, like, dude, like, stop thinking you gotta be the smartest person or think you got to know everything. Just have the will and the ambition and, the drive, like that. To me, the hustle, all that stuff outweighs the education. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is super simple. Like she said, I sent a text message. Like, it doesn't take a rocket science to send a text message. You know what I'm saying? But it does take the person with the right mindset to build the right rapport and study that seller to where you mirror that seller to make that seller trust you all the way to the closing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part, she get kudos for, but it wasn't a rocket scientist. I mean, everybody text messages. That's have to be smart to do that, but big ups to her for understanding how to read that seller and understanding how to build enough trust, so I just think that it was a blessing, you know what I'm saying? And again, these transactions always is good because everybody wins, you know what I'm saying? That seller actually been trying to sell that property for months, and to know that, you allow her the opportunity to get rid of that property, that was big, So the seller won, we won, the buyer, they got a good property and, it's just a win, so I like it when it's a win-win all the way around.
The other thing,
also, I appreciate you guys walking me through and helping me on the difficult times.
And Brother Wilson said, congratulations on LaShawn, big ups. You are working with the best of guys, best, my brothers, Will and Tim. Appreciate that, brother. Camilla, she said, congratulations. I just wanted to shoot out the congratulations out there. A couple people shooting you out.
Thanks, y'all. Good night to y'all too.
John Stafford said, checking in. He said, congratulations to you. Nicholas Wilson said, congratulations. A lot of people, big ups, a lot of people. What I like about our industry and I like about our community, man, is like, listen, people are happy. People are happy when you close.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And they be like, I could be the next one. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I love about this business right here.
Yeah.
I posted that the other day in my story. I said, be happy for other people because your turn is next. Your turn is coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to show gratitude and you got to be happy for others before you start seeing your blessings. Ryan said, what God has for you is for you. And that's the truth. Like, it starts with being happy for others. That's why even like when I'm strolling down the post, I don't really post a whole lot on Facebook, but whenever I see somebody that's done a good deal or closed a deal, I always say congratulations because you got to be happy for other people, and
absolutely.
That's just what it is, so big ups.
Nicholas Nicholas and Gerald, they both say congratulations on our Facebook Live, guys. So I mean, this is, you know, proof is in the pudding. I think, you know, like rather than us say it, you know, I think LaShawn just gave you guys the secrets. You know, the secrets are really, you know, just believe in yourself. You know, believe that you can make this thing happen. And once you believe you can make this thing happen, go ahead and take action. Take action.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to take action.
We had a couple more comments came in. Charlotte said, congratulations. Cornelia said, tell LaShawn, congratulations, boss woman. I know that's right.
That's right.
And Camilla said, I hopped on a little late, not sure if it was discussed on how and where she found the deal. How did you start text message blast?
That's a good
you
question.
Want to real quick go into, like, I guess maybe you want to share how you start your text. What particular company you use, or what that look like real quick?
I use a platform called Batch, and there's a promo code called PACE. So you can use a promo code and they get PACE. It'll give you 500 text messages for $1. That's the introductory rate. And
so what's the name of the company?
Batch, BATCH.
500 for $1.
Okay, no worries.
500 for $1. Yep.
They trying to make it real easy for you, ain't they?
That's the introductory though. It gets you in there.
Hey, that dollar. You said 500 for $1.
500 for $1.
Yes. Close a deal with $1.
That's right. Close a deal with $1.
Oh, yeah, with $1. That's what's up.
Wow.
So there's different resources out here, man. Appreciate you sharing that. I'm hoping one of you guys, you know, use that. And, you know, you want to share real quick, how did you get your list? Somebody might say, okay, I got the text message. What list did you target to start texting?
I used, you mean how did I pull my list from, like, for platform?
You don't have to go that deep. You could just choose. I mean, you could say that, or you could just say what list source, like what type of list was it? Was it a absentee owner, probate? What was it?
All right. Well, I use PropStream as my platform, and I pulled vacant high equity, which I wouldn't recommend pulling vacant high equity because there's no pain point. We need to have a pain point so they can have a reason to sell it. But that was my first deal. It was a vacant high equity, and they didn't need it. So.
Hey, LaShawn, come on and tell them about that pain point.
You know, I'm learning, man.
They gotta have a reason why.
You feel like they're not as motivated? That's what you feel?
Yes. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because it could be a vacation home or whatever the situation is.
There's no right or wrong. You can make money from all this. That's a good way to think of it. But you can make money from all this. The big thing is just getting started. That's the biggest thing we tell people, just get started.
Yes, I agree.
Pretty sure we ain't got any other questions before we get off. Cherie said, I appreciate you sharing your story with us. God bless you. And you really motivated me because this is a male-dominated business. So happy for you. I love that, man.
Let's connect. This is a male-dominated industry, so it's up to us.
It don't have to be, though. It don't have to be. Y'all are amazing. Women are amazing. Like, I have an amazing wife. Tim has an amazing wife. Like, women, y'all crush it. So I really hope that we see a lot more women in the business. I really do. You know, because you guys are so smart.
Confidence mindset.
You know, you guys can really do well. You know, so I just pray that this plants a seed in a lot of you women that's listening that, hey, this young lady did it. You guys can do it too. So I really hope this planted a seed tonight.
Yes, we can, y'all. We can.
All right. So appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Delano said congratulations from Florida.
Thanks, guys. I'm sending big boss vibes to everybody listening.
You want to say, before we let you go, you mind sharing what you would, since it's a lot of women being inspired, I think it's only appropriate that what message would you give to the women out there that maybe have not closed their first deal yet? What would you tell them right now now that you got to 2 of them so far, and that's the 2 of them, so many that's to come. So what would you tell the women out there that's listening, that's inspired by your story right now?
My advice is to educate yourself heavily. Go hard body on your education. And then when you educate yourself for real, don't second guess yourself. Know it, be confident, and go for it. Period. That's it.
Period.
Period.
I mean, the end.
Period.
That's what's
Period.
up.
That's what's
That's
up.
it.
That's
That's
it.
it. Well, hey,
Thank you,
LaShawn, we so greatly appreciate you jumping on. We know you was nervous about getting on. We thank you for sharing your story. It meant a lot to our community tonight. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next deal.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, El.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. That was a good story.
That was an awesome story, man.
Good.
I'm excited, man. I know that based on LaShawn's testimony, dude, I just know that this is going to inspire some ladies, you know, and even some fellas, and even some fellas, like during this time, like we should be inspired, like during this time, to know that nothing is certain. Nothing is certain except you and your mindset. You know what I'm saying? God, you and your mindset. That's what's certain. So if you can get your mindset right, then you can do anything. I think that these are the times that should let you know that. You know, this girl had a good job at Porsche. She had a good job at Porsche, but she wanted more. You know, she wanted more. You know, she had dreams beyond that. And that inspires me. That touches me. And I just know that it's going to touch a lot of people when they actually hear that. So, you know, man, great story. Great story.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You want to close us out, unless anybody else has any more questions or anything like that. What's up, Chill? What's going on? YouTube and all that stuff, Will?
Yeah, I think I want you guys to be the next LaShawn, you know, and
Absolutely.
how that can be is, for one, you know, being faith about, you know, knowing that you can do this, you know, first off, being faith about it, you know, trust that you can do it, whether you're a male, female, black, white, Indian, Mexican, it don't matter. You know, you can do the business. So trust and believe in yourself, believe the higher power will get you there. And I think that a lot of people lack, you know, maybe they just get started and they don't really know what to do. And that's where we come in at. That's the same way we was able to help, you know, LaShawn. We extend our arms out to you guys. If you guys need us for any reason, if you guys have a deal, if you want to talk about anything real estate related, we're open to talking to you, and we're open to doing business with you. We're currently buying properties right now. Right now, we're currently looking for more deals, and we're looking for more partners to wholesale some more deals. So keep us in mind. If you guys do have a deal, you can definitely email it to reiwholesalersus@gmail.com. That's REI wholesalersus@gmail.com. We are looking for more deals. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have been uploading a lot of our meetups and a lot of our Monday calls. A lot of you might not hear all of our calls, which they're all amazing. If you want to see some of the ones that you missed, make sure you go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of our free content on there. Make sure you guys are following us on social media. I'm on Instagram at Uncle Bill Buy Houses. Tim is at Who Is Tim Harvey. Facebook, William Galloway. Facebook, Tim Harvey. We look forward to working with you guys. Just keep us in mind. And again, you guys be safe out there. It's a lot going on. Again, my condolences one more time for Rashad Brooks and his family. I know I said it earlier, but I just wanted to put that out there one more time before we close it out. And everybody else who lost their lives in a tragic way, my prayers and condolences to their families. And anything else before we go, bro?
No, man. Guys, just be all you
I
can
love
be.
the stories, man. I love these stories. I love these stories. I love our meetups I love our Monday calls, but I specifically love the stories because it gives a different perspective, you know what I'm saying? And I could tell this perspective tonight moved the women, so I'm grateful for that. So yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys next Monday, the same time. We're looking forward to another spectacular call next Monday. Please stay tuned. Every Monday, 8 p.m., Motivational Mindset Monday. We challenge you mentally, and make sure you guys don't miss it. So we'll see you guys next week. Be safe out there. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much for showing up.
Peace.
And listening.
Thank you.
Y'all.